We were all young ones and did stupid things. Well, many of us. The question is, should youngsters pay what could be, in some cases, lifelong penalties for relatively minor charges? Two local legislators are trying to expand the use of so-called civil citations, an alternative. But as Adam Cellini reports, critics say there are some unintended consequences. Adam.
Yeah, some say the civil citation process could be more work on an officer's end and worry it may cause them to stop arresting juveniles completely.
It's not something that I had ever considered or even thought that would ever happen.
When ALVIRA Simmons' son Markel was in 7th grade, he got into a fight at school. What happened next would alter the course of his life.
There was a nosebleed and the police were called, and so my son was arrested at school, and he was charged with battery.
7 years later, it is still Markel's only run-in with the law, but it was enough for a local retailer to deny his application for a stockroom position just a few months ago.
It was the only thing that was listed on the reason for his denial for the job.
Markel's story isn't unique, and it's far from the worst, which is why lawmakers are considering a bill to make civil citations mandatory among law enforcement. An alternative to arresting juveniles for first-time misdemeanors, civil citations instead send kids to diversion programs. Locals Greg Stubbe and Joe GRUTERS are sponsoring the bills in the Senate and House, respectively.
What happens is if they get a arrest record tied to them as a person, it could be detrimental to them getting a job later on, getting into the military. And really what it's trying to do is it's trying to give some of these nonviolent youthful offenders a second chance.
The bill outlines 11 to 12 misdemeanor offenses like theft, possession of drugs or alcohol, common mistakes for a teenager.
Just in the past year, 10,000 were arrested and ended up with criminal records that they would not otherwise have if they were given civil citations.
Local pastor Patrick Miller is lobbying for the bill with the nonprofit Sarasota United for Responsibility and Equity. Civil citations would be recorded by the Department of Juvenile Justice separate from criminal charges that go onto a public record, and each kid is only allowed 3.
It's not that teen court isn't a good program. It's a great program, but it's just not reaching the masses, and every county doesn't have a teen court.
Why don't y'all please stand, raise your right hand.
Sarasota County Teen Court has served over 11,000 juveniles in 28 years. During that time, officers could make direct referrals to teen court, like KATY McBRAYER, a Booker High graduate who had a life-altering run-in with a doctor through the program.
The doctor was like, "I know you." And I was like, okay. And he's like, "I pumped your stomach last year." And that was something I had blocked from my memory.
McBRAYER worries the bill's 3-strike policy will not give future juveniles the same opportunity she had to keep a clean record.
There's a lot of kids and there's a lot of adults that I know that 3 strikes would have been too many, and it would have affected them for the rest of their lives.
Law enforcement across Sarasota and Manatee County started adopting civil citations as far back as 2014. And while arrests have gone down, teen court referrals have also dropped. Sarasota County teen court leaders like Stephen Campagna worry officers are choosing warnings over the paperwork of a civil citation.
These officers don't want to be off the streets, off their patrol for however long it takes to fill out, the hours that it takes to fill out all that documentation. And they're either going to let the child go and he doesn't receive needed services and he reoffends, potentially much more severe than this time, or, congratulations, it's your first time and now you're a juvenile defendant.
Plus, limiting the program to only a dozen misdemeanors could make it too exclusive.
The difference between a felony theft and a misdemeanor theft is $1.
Campagna and others don't doubt the bill's good intention and believe there is a solution out there. We may just need more time to find it. Now, Alan, Manatee County came up with a way to make civil citation booking easier on law enforcement by allowing parents 10 days to bring their child to the station, and they say it's helped balance out the initial decline in those teen court numbers.
Adam, thank you. Coming up, one of the bill's sponsors, a judge and a member of the teen court board. When we return, we're taking you to the Trapezoid.